morning and welcome. This is Newspaper Review coming to you from Carnival Radio. My name is Joseph Oikola. To begin the news this morning, here are the headlines. ASUU fought sack of 400 members. In Rivers State, tension persists ahead appeal court judgment. Emboy student murder. Police arrest prime suspect, launch manhunt for others. Obaseki links rising inflation to failure to produce in the sport. Lagos State to demolish illegal structures in Sangotedo, Ago Palace. Worshipper recants ordeal as fire god Christ Embassy headquarters. Now the news in full. The Academic Staff Union of Universities, ASUU, has said over 400 members have been sacked in the last 10 or 15 years for fighting for their rights and interests of the university system. The intimidation and persecution, ASUU said, are common in state-owned institutions as governors who are visitors to these institutions don't tolerate opposing views and policies. Past ASUU chairman of the University of Lagos UNILAG chapter, Dr. Dele Ashiru, stated this during a leadership training workshop for new union executives at the Olabisi Onabanjo University, OOU, Agowo, Oyo State. Participants were exposed to topics such as qualities required of leaders of the union for effective performance and principles of collective bargaining and negotiation. According to Ashiru, the union has been standing against persecution and will continue to fight for the genuine interests of its members. He stressed that the union will not tolerate any unethical behavior from any of its members. He said, ASUU has been supporting members who were persecuted for fighting for the interests of the union and for betterment of the university system, and will continue to do this if it is in collective interest. On the other hand, the union has sanctioned many members who engaged in unethical practices and will still do so if there are confirmed infractions. ASUU has zero tolerance for unethical practices and will continue to emphasize this to its members. The union does not tolerate indiscipline of any sort, citing the case of members at the Ambrose Ali University, Ekpoma, where 100 of them were sacked, and in Kogi State, where similar experience happened. Ashiru lamented that the deliberate persecution of union members has affected the morale of lecturers, adding that the union often clashes with management over institutions over unpalatable policies which oftentimes have political coloration. Acting branch chairman of ASUU OOU, Dr. Wasiu Oloto, said the workshop was organized to educate the executives on what is expected of them in discharging their roles and to know their limitations as well. The union has also called on President Bola Tinubu to sign the NIMI BRICS negotiated draft as a sign of goodwill and assured hope for public universities. It said positioning public universities for global recognition will remain a mirage without the federal government implementing the NIM BRICS report. At a joint news conference by the Usman Danfodiyo University, UDOS, and Sokoto State University chapters, the union highlighted negotiation of the 2009 agreement with health salaried and academic allowances, illegal dissolution of governing councils, among other critical aspects, as issues disturbing public universities. For more details, please visit the Nation newspaper. ASUU fought sack of 400 members. In Rivers State, there is unending tension in Rivers State as voting parties await decision of the Court of Appeal. Newsman recalls that at the last hearing, parties presented their final address to the court, after which the suit was adjourned for judgment. The Speaker of the Rivers State House of Assembly, Martin Amewule, and 24 others are before the court against the High Court-backed Speaker Victor Okojumbo and 5 others. Amewule and others are requesting the court to halt the implementation of the High Court's ruling that removed them from office, pause any further actions in the case, and nullify any decision made by Jumbo while in office. He also sought a speedy resolution of the matter, arguing that the trial court had overstepped its authority. At the moment, the crisis centers around the running of the 23 local government areas, as the former chairmen whose tenure have expired are insisting that they have the right to remain in office, citing an amended law by the Mbatu Amewule-led House of Assembly. Governor Fubara had on Monday, June 17, directed all heads of local government administration in the state to take charge of councils starting Tuesday, June 18, 2024. In a broadcast, the governor instructed the local government chairmen to immediately take charge of the councils with renewed vigor and readiness to serve and await further directives as we navigate towards even greater accomplishment together. However, the former chairman vowed to remain in office, insisting that the embattled faction of the Rivers State House of Assembly led by Amewu had extended their tenure by 6 months. The refusal to kill the office triggered controversies that turned bloody on Tuesday when supporters of the incumbent governor and Wike, the current minister of the Federal State Territory FCT, clashed. At least 2 security operatives paid the supreme price during the violent clash. At the same time, scores of other protesters were injured, as confirmed by the spokesperson of the River State Police Command, Grace Irigokoko. Subsequently, the Inspector General of Police, IGP Kayode Egbetokun, ordered the operatives of the State Command to take over the local government secretariat to foster more bloodshed and prevent further deterioration of security in the state. The IGP specifically deployed operatives of the Force Intelligence Response Team IRT to assist the River State Command in apprehending the killers of the police officer and vigilante member. In a very swift move, Governor Fubara on Wednesday nominated caretaker chairman for the 23 local government areas to replace the pro-Jason Wiki former chairman. The caretaker chairman screened by the State House of Assembly led by the Speaker, Victor Jumbo, were equally sworn in by Governor the same day. For more details, please visit Daily Post newspaper in Rivers State. Tension persists ahead Court of Appeal judgment. In the meantime, Lagos State government yesterday issued a 14-day removal notice to owners of buildings and structures at Sangotedo area of Lekki and Okota, Isolo areas of the state which were built on drainage channels. Commissioner for the Environment and Water Resources, Mr. Tokumbo Harb, said this after an inspection tour to various contravention sites and ongoing drainage enforcement project in Agor Palace Way, Isolo, Sangotedo, Lekki, and the Koi areas of the state. Wahab said the state government was determined to restore sanity in the state. Lagos, despite its peculiarities as a coastal state with low-lying terrains and a high population density, among others, has remained afloat because of various measures put in place by the government. Wahab, who said the ministry has strengthened its drainage enforcement activities, said, "I tell people climate change is real and there is a cholera outbreak. We must know that all these things are interwoven. We must all be responsible and responsive as a people. People cannot continue to brazen abuse the environment and expect that there will be no consequences." At Sangotedo by Lagos Business School, the commissioner said A 48 hours contravention notice have been served to owners of buildings lying within the channels and 14 days abstinence, and when that elapses, the law will take its course. Lagos, despite its peculiarities as a coastal, meant for more details, please visit the Daily Post newspaper. Lagos State, Lagos to demolish illegal structures in Sangotedo, Agbo Palace. Meanwhile, prime suspect in the abduction and murder of a student of Alex Ekweme Federal University in Dufo, Alik Inwo Funai in Oyo State, Mr. Maxwell Okeke, has been arrested by the police. The prime suspect, Ogobuchi Uhuru, a native of Oaku village, Ndufo Alike, was arrested in Port Harcourt, the River State capital, after the police mounted a manhunt for him. According to a source who confirmed the arrest, Uhuru has been a terror to students and members of his community for a long time. Recall that Okeke, the deceased, was abducted and killed by unknown persons earlier this month. According to a student of the institution, the university community became worried after it was declared missing. The source further said his decomposing body was later found near a river in the community. Institution management had in its statement to the public relations officer Elom Iyeke Ubuchi fingered Uwo as the prime suspect in the abduction and killing of Mr. Okeke. Okeke, an extra-year student of the Department of Accountancy on June 1, 2024, he noted that since the unfortunate incident happened, the university management, through its Directorate of Security Affairs, has been working closely with the police and other security agencies to ensure his safe rescue from his captors. He noted that preliminary reports from security agencies shows that the alleged perpetrators of the heinous crime were criminal youth elements from Oaku village led by one Ogobuchi Uo, popularly known as OG Roya. Oyo State Police Command spokesperson DSP Joshua Ukadu confirmed the arrest of the suspect. Why? Students of the institution have lamented their unfair treatment and attacks on them by members of the host community. A student who spoke on the condition of anonymity said the students have been subjected to various forms of violence in the past from members of the community. For more details, please visit the Daily Post newspaper. Oyo State murder, police arrest prime suspect, launch man out for the others. In another news, Oyo State Governor Mr. Godwin Obaseki has linked Nigerians' persistent rising inflation to the country's inability to consistently produce and export goods and services. According to him, the trend continues to affect the nation's economy negatively. Obaseki said this while receiving representatives from the World Bank, led by the organization task team leader TTL, for the agro-processing, productivity enhancement, and livelihood improvement support affairs project in Nigeria. Manevi Manuel said we were on courtesy visit at Government House, Benin City. Other members of the group as the entourage of the World Bank delegation include the Commissioner for Agriculture and Food Security, Honorable Stephen Idehere, his permanent secretary and staff from his ministry, and the National Project Coordinator, Livestock Productivity and Resilience Support Project Press, Sanusi Abubakar, among others. The team is in Benin City for the third World Bank implementation mission. The governor noted that the greatest problem of Nigeria was the fact that the country is not producing enough for importation with no import buffers. He said, whatever we are producing is very low as a country, and people now don't have import buffers anymore. When you fly into countries around the world, from their airspace, you will see farm demarcation, but the same can't be said of Nigeria. For more details, please visit Daily Post newspaper. Basically links rising inflation to to produce new sport. In another sad news, worshippers and members of Lord Ward International, commonly known as Christ Embassy, are recounting their ordeals following yesterday's mysterious fire that razed both the administrative block and the main auditorium of the church headquarters in Oregun, Lagos State. The cause of the fire, which completely razed the ground floor of the church, leaving its ruins, remained unknown at the time of this report. However, unconfirmed reports blame the incident on a power surge from the electrical appliances. Church workers and other members of the church who were preparing for the Sunday service were said to have scampered for safety. It was alleged that the fire started around 7 a.m. and was put off around 3:10 p.m., preventing worshippers from holding service at the church auditorium. They were taken to Asese, the crusade ground along Lagos-Ibadan Expressway, Oyo State, to hold service. One of the members of the church, identified as Chinozo, said it was because the church had its 1 week programs that was to end with the Thanksgiving service at the Asese campground. Hence, the inferno did not lead to any casualty. For more details, please visit Vanguard newspaper. Worshippers recount other as fire got Christ Embassy headquarters. To end newspaper review this morning, here is a recap of headlines. ASU fought sack of 400 members. In Rivers State, tension persists ahead appeal court judgment. Oyo State student murder. Police arrest prime suspect, launch manhunt for orders. Obaseki links rising inflation to billion to produce export. Lagos to demolish illegal structures in Sangotedo and Go Palace. Worshippers recount ordeal as fire got Christ Embassy headquarters. And with that, we have come to the end of newspaper review. Thank you very much for joining us. My name remains Joseph Oyukola. Good morning.